Welcome to another Tips for Horse Owners. My name is Dr. Dan Berba. I'm one of the ECAT specialists here at the Center for Veterinary Health Sciences at Oklahoma State University. And today I want to talk about some tips regarding joint problems in horses. Joint problems in horses is one of the most common disorders afflicting horses today. It costs millions of dollars to keep horses sound, just as we do with humans. Several medications are out there, but I want to talk about a few points that, as a horse owner, you can do to help keep your horse from developing joint illnesses. So what are some of the things you can do, first of all, to help your horse maybe prevent the onset of the osteoarthritis? One of the things I always tell everybody is to look at the conformation of a horse, and is that horse suited for what your intended purpose is? Obviously, this is kind of extreme, but a Tennessee walking horse, for example, is not suited to be a racehorse or possibly barrel race. One of the things that I always tell the owners as far as when I'm looking at a horse that may be predisposed to arthritis or having some joint problems is the foot care. I think that's really where it starts. Anything as far as with the musculoskeletal and the care of the musculoskeletal system starts with the foot of the horse. And my recommendations is a good foot trim, and particularly a nice short toe. This reduces the amount of stress on the joints as the horse is landing, allows for that limb to break over easier, less force and less exertion for the horse to move forward. And so I think one of the key things that is start there to look at the horse's foot, and is it trimmed properly, particularly with a nice short toe. The other thing I always recommend is if you're going to compete your horse in a high strenuous activity, to really consider some treatments, and particularly something that you can do. And one of those is joint supplements. I feel joint supplements that contain glucosamine and conjoint sulfates are very beneficial for the horse's joint health. These allow the joint to be able to replenish some of the lost compounds in the cartilage, and hopefully be able to extend the viability of that joint. So we have this mare here today with us that joined us today for this segment. And I want to come down here to look at the joint. So when we're looking at a joint that may have some inflammation and soreness with it, what we want to look for is there a change in the joint in regards to what it looks like? And this is one of the most common things that you're going to see a horse that has inflammation in the joint is obviously swelling. And I'm sure many of you have noticed that in your horses as you ride them. You may notice that the horse has some swelling within the joint, and you're wondering whether or not that's a problem. Some horses carry some fluid in the joint, but if they become lame on the joint, if you notice that they're not moving as like they normally would, then that could be a problem. And so one of the first things you're going to see is fluid within the joint and this lameness. So joint disorders and arthritis is a normal aging process in horses, just as us. But if it comes to a point that no matter what you're doing, you feel your horse is not performing as it should, and it may be a joint problem, this is when you see your veterinarian. He can take x-rays of the joint to see whether or not we've got some advanced changes within the joint. If we do recognize that there is arthritis in the joint, then we'll describe possibly some additional medications to help with your horse, and may even talk about some intra-articular medications. So this is Dr. Berba, and I hope I've given you some helpful tips on arthritis and preventing it in your horse.